Hello and welcome to English Capsules. Today's capsule, I don't like you. Get your coffee ready and let's get started.
So, hello and welcome. Today we've got one of these capsules in which we discuss a topic related to teaching or related to learning. So, today the question that is going to start our conversation is: has it ever happened to you that you come across a class or a student that you don't like?
It's a good question to start with because I think that most teachers that listen to us, even ourselves, it has happened to us. It is pretty common. I mean, we are people, right? So it happens. Um, in my case, at the very beginning of my career as a teacher, I had to replace other teachers at schools. Um, and I remember this class, it was the last year of high school. So we're talking about uh, a very small gap between the age of the students and my age, right? It was maybe 5 years. So I felt that they didn't see me like the teacher, like an authority, maybe. And from the very beginning, I didn't like the class. I stepped into the classroom and I said, no. I felt it like, no, I'm not going to enjoy this class. And in fact, in the end, I didn't. So it's like, unluckily, it wasn't reverted, we could say. The feeling was like confirmed. So, yeah, but I don't know if this because of what I said at the beginning, because of the age, because of I don't know, because of the number of students, because they were like 34 in a classroom, which is a lot. So, or maybe because it was the last year, their last year at high school. So, I don't know, maybe nothing has to do, or maybe everything has to do. But well, that is the experience that comes to mind when I listen to this question.
Well, my mind is like all over the place right now. Um, I was thinking of what you were saying. And normally what happens is this, that from is it like from the very beginning, if you feel like you're not going to have like chemistry, let's say, with the class, you
Mhm.
know it.
Yeah.
Like it's weird. Like when you have to prepare for the class, it's not easy for you to do it. When the class comes, you are like low on energy. And honestly, you are
Creativity.
like, okay, today I see them. I don't have to see them in another week after today.
It happens. In my case, I become a lot less creative because it's like I don't know, I my window of creativity is closed. Like I cannot think, I cannot come up with an idea, with something funny, with nothing. It's like in those cases, I stick to the material that I have, and that's all. And it is really boring, and it is really sad because I know that I don't work like that because usually the material is for me just a guideline. But then I add my own style, we could say, my own activities, my own things. Uh, but in this case, I remember that it didn't happen.
I was thinking that because you were mentioning like the size of the class and this, and immediately something came to my mind, not related to the practicum or related to my first years of teaching, related to teaching in high school. In the school that I used to work, when they were in first and second year, they were like two different classes, right? But then
Okay.
in third, they are merged in a big class, in the biggest classroom we had in the building, right? So this was the biggest classroom, really big. I'm really small, but that's not a problem because I knew them. I knew what I was facing. I knew that one of the classes I liked better, another class probably I didn't. Um, but well, you have to deal with it. But the thing is that I remember that year being voiceless for a
Mhm.
really long number of days because I couldn't cope with it.
No.
And this happened to me the first year that I had third. But then the second year, the same happened again. So I started thinking, and I was like, okay, it's the merge, it's the big classroom, but it's also the age. I
Yeah, yes.
hate teaching people who are 15 years old. I
They are
can't.
noisy. They are naturally noisy. But it's not that it's let's not blame the teenagers only because here we know that we like teaching kids and we like teaching adults. So maybe we don't know how to handle the teenagers.
The thing is that I could cope with first and second. I liked those classes. First, because they are closer in age to children.
Mhm. Children, yeah.
Second is okay. But then when they started fourth, I was fine with them. I could work with them. So the critical year was third. I hated teaching third. And I think it's because there were group dynamics, because it's the first time that they were all together.
Mhm.
It's also the fact that some of them were in this position that I don't care. Some of them dropped out of school after third because I think that at that time you only had to comply until third and then you could stop going or something like this. It was like, something weird with this year in particular, but yeah, I really hated all my thirds. Then when they grew up, I was fine with my
It was
classes.
okay.
I was happy with them.
So here we're talking about schools, but um, if we think about an academy of English and a school of languages, has it ever happened to you that you found a student or a class that you didn't like?
This has happened, yes, not particularly because of students. In one case, it was because of the parents.
Okay.
Because this was a time when I was working for an academy, but this academy provided private lessons in Madrid. So I had to go to students' houses and I
Okay.
would teach there. And I remember that this mother was spying on me with a baby cam, with a baby monitor.
Ah, okay.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't mind. Like, if she had asked me to stay in the class while I was there, I have no problem. I have no problem
Mhm.
in parents listening to me. Don't spy on me. It was really weird. We never got along, like with the children either. It was very weird. So that class I hated. And I think that's the only time, like, I mean, then in groups and this, working in academies, sometimes I had groups that I liked better than others. But in
But
general,
that
I
is
liked
it's really common to
I
feel more
remember
comfortable.
there was a group that were like really assholes. There's
Okay.
no other. They were all boys and they were more or less this age, 15 or so. And I started replacing another teacher. And they were like, this class is going to be a problem for you because they are assholes. And yes, they were.
Yeah, okay.
But the thing
Confirmed.
is that after the years went by, they started like splitting. Some of them quit the academy, some went on to other classes.
Hmm.
They were lovely people.
Yeah. The
Like
problem
I
was
got along
the
with
group.
them. We had like a nice relationship. We had fun of the things that had happened before.
Mhm.
That was cool. That happening was cool. So, has it ever happened to you working in an academy or with your private students?
I cannot recall right now if this happened to me in the academy. It has happened to me in the past in my own academy, like, "Ah, I don't want to teach this class." But it's not because of the class, because all my classes are very nice. But what happens to me is what you were saying. There are some classes in which you feel more comfortable with, and in others in which you don't feel so comfortable. So it's like, okay, you use your poker face and you continue, you carry on. But it depends, many times it depends on the people who are part of the class. Sometimes if I have only one student and I don't get along very well with that student, um, we work, but then naturally it happens that the class is dissolved because of some, and it's not me. It's like, okay, something happens and it is resolved and the student stops coming. I don't know. But usually most of my classes are very nice. So, well, I cannot complain about my classes. My complaints are always about schools because I don't like working for schools. But
I was
well,
going to say that I think that's an advantage of working either in academies or with private lessons.
mhm,
Uh, because like normally people when they come to you is because well sometimes it's because they need you, but most of the time is that they come willingly to the class,
mhm,
and they sort of like it. Maybe their parents send them to English classes, but they end up having fun.
yeah,
So it's not mandatory like in schools.
that they are forced to learn something in order to pass the subject, and that's all. Uh, so I agree with them. It's okay for them to be rebels.
So I think we can end up this episode with a question for our audience because we said that this is mostly focused for teachers. However,
Mhm.
can go both ways. So if you're a teacher, you can tell us how do you deal with students that you don't like? And
Right?
if you are a student, you can tell us if you have ever come across a teacher that you didn't like.
Of course, and you can expand on that. You can tell us the subject that this teacher taught, why you didn't like him or her, and how you solved this situation. If you could solve it, if not, what happened, right? Of
Please don't
course,
give names.
you can leave your comments here below or in our Instagram account, the English Capsules. Okay, so before we go, remember to subscribe if you haven't done it yet, give love to our content, and spread the word to help our channel grow.
Also remember that you can rate our episodes and comment on each capsule. Activate the bell so that you know when our next capsule is out. And take a look at the description and our Instagram account to take more advantage of our content.
Okay, that's all for today. Bye for now.
See you in our next episode.